Statuette of Cheops. This statuette belongs to King Cheops, the owner of the Great Pyramid at Giza Plateau. It is made out of ivory. It is about 7.5 centimeters in height. It was discovered in 1903 by Sir Flinders Petrie in the temple of Khenti Imnti at Abydos. This statuette is the only statue of Cheops that had come to light, although we all know that Cheops dates back to the 4th dynasty. But we have some confusions concerning the dating of the statuette. Petrie, the excavator of the statuette, immediately dated the statuette to the 4th dynasty after the name inscribed on the throne. But Dr. Zahi Hawass disagreed with the dating, as he believes that this statuette dates back to the 26th dynasty, i.e. was carved on the 26th dynasty on the basis of different archaeological evidence. The artistic conventions after, Dr. Zahi Hawass made a comparison between the statuette and other examples of artwork that dates back to the 4th dynasty, like that of Mycerinus, which is made out of ivory and which is closest in type to the statuette of Cheops. He came out to 2 main points. 1. The image of Khufu, Cheops, shows no sign of careful workmanship, so he said that maybe it is a work of artisan rather than an artist. 2. In contrast, the statue of Mycerinus is finely craved, although the head is missed, but concerning the details of the body, they were well done together with kilt. And since there are only 38 years between the reign of Cheops and Mycerinus, so it isn't logic to say that the artist style has been changed in such a short time. NB. The statuette of Mycerinus is twice the height that of Cheops, and it was found in this complex at Giza by Resina, and it is now on display in Boston Museum. Answering the 2 previous opinions, we could say that maybe the statuette of Cheops was representing the local art, while that of Mycerinus was representing the royal art. So we can't compare between them, since every one of them is representing different art. Moreover, the head of the statue of Mycerinus is broken, so the comparison wouldn't be complete. Another point concerning the artistic convention that Zahi Hawass mentioned is the throne, as he said that while comparing Cheops' throne and the other thrones of the Old Kingdom's thrones had a high back, while Khufu's throne has a low back. But we can answer him by saying that this isn't true, because we have many other examples in the Old Kingdom with low backs. Another point that was mentioned to prove that this statuette dates back to the 26th dynasty, which is attitude of the hands, since the traditional attitude of the Old Kingdom was putting both hands on the lap. But in the statuette of Cheops, we find one hand across the chest. Of course, the answer is that this hand is represented holding the flail scepter. NB. The flail scepter is known in hieroglyphic as NHH. It is a scepter composed of a handle and 3 loose stands serving as part of the royal insignia. We have another weak point that was mentioned to prove that the statuette dates back to the 26th dynasty. This point was the using of ivory that wasn't widely used during the Old Kingdom because of its few sources. On the other hand, it was widely spread during the 26th dynasty, as it was brought from different areas. But here we have a very easy answer, since the statue of Mycerinus, which dates back to the 4th dynasty, is made out of ivory. Finally, it was said that the unfinished state of the feet proves that this statue wasn't dating to the 4th dynasty, since during that time Cheops was considered as divine god, so carving the feet were broken during the excavation. Other evidence was mentioned proving that this statuette dates back to the 26th dynasty, as Cheops was worshipped as a god during the 26th dynasty, and his cult was very important, and his name was used on scarab amulets. The Great Pyramid was reopened during the 26th dynasty. This statuette could be considered as an amulet, and ivory was widely spread in the manufacture of amulets during the 26th dynasty. Finally, after all these evidences, we still say that this statuette dates back to the 4th dynasty, reign of Cheops. Maybe it was originally serving as an amulet, but still it dates back to the 4th dynasty. Concerning the poor craftsmanship of the statuette, we could say that maybe the statuette wouldn't have been meant to be a work of fine art, but it was rather used as a protective object, or amulet. Concerning the description of the statuette, the king is represented sitting on the throne wearing the red crown of Lower Egypt, known as Dsart, and a short plaited kilt with centra, tab, known as sendit. He is represented holding in his right hand flail scepter, NHH, resting over his chest, while his left hand rests upon his knee. The face is broad and forceful, with full cheeks, big mouth and wide nostrils. We can see a little smile upon his face. The ears are very true in form and correctly placed. The head is somehow in a large scale compared to the body. It was broken and separated from the body during the excavation and was lost in the sand. Then it was rediscovered after 3 weeks of intensive search and then reunited to the statue. The cartouche carved upon the left side of the throne is completely broken. If the king's hour's name wasn't preserved upon the right side of the throne, one might never guess that this diminutive sculpture depicts the owner of the Great Pyramid.